Hi guys, I decided today that I would record a quick 20-minute flow available to all levels, all practitioners. If you've never done yoga before, why not start in quarantine? I've been trying to reframe the way that I'm thinking about why we're in this separation. At the beginning, there was this like looming sense of like, I've got to protect myself, I can't get sick, and da 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 da. And now I've switched over to I'm working under the assumption that I am already a carrier, at least. Maybe going to exhibit symptoms at another date in the future. But operating more from this space of, I don't want to have my actions adversely affect someone else. I may only be coming into contact with people who are young because they feel comfortable also being out in the world right now, or not immunocompromised because they feel comfortable being out in the world. However, I don't know who in the long chain of people that I could come into contact with, and they could come into contact with, and they could come into contact with. I don't know who lives with loved ones who are immunocompromised. So I've been home for 4 days. And now I'm ready to share a yoga practice. So follow along as best you can, and forgive me because I probably will get chopped off when standing in Tadasana, just because the distance is what we've got to work with. So let's get started. We're going to start out in child's pose. So child's pose, on your knees, feet, tops of the feet down on the mat. Knees can be separated slightly so that your rib cage can fall in between your thighs. Forehead comes to the mat. If this is not available, because sometimes this can hurt your knees, you can either put a pillow behind your thighs, in between your calves and thighs, and sit back, and then have maybe just let your head hang, let your elbows down and let your head hang, if this is more accessible. So we're just gonna breathe here. Take 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, soften through towards the mat. Again, inhale. And finally, really fully exhaling, softening all muscles in the body possible. And slowly we're going to make our way up into tabletop position. So we line our hands up underneath the shoulders, slight bend in the elbows so that you can scoop the elbows towards one another, and then we're pressing the floor away. Press into all 10 fingertips, engage the core, and we're gonna take the right leg straight behind us. So we're in a half plank here on the right side. The knees line up underneath the hips. So the left knee is lined up underneath the hip right now. Core is engaged, and we begin to lift the right leg just to the height of the hip, press through the heel, keep the core engaged. Inhale here. On the exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Pressing the floor away. Inhale, extend the leg long. And exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Once more, inhale, bringing the leg long, and exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. As you inhale, extend the leg long once more. Exhale, releases the knee down onto the mat. Let's move through some cat-cow. Inhale, bring the chest forward, tailbone reaches up. Exhale, pressing the floor away, belly button to spine, tailbone points to the back of the knees. Inhale, belly sinking towards the earth. Collarbone spreads wide. And exhale, press the floor away. On the inhale, come back through flat back, tabletop position, stepping the left foot back. This time, press through the heel, stretch out the back of the calf. Pull the belly button in and up. Press into the right shin, lifting the left leg up and back. Press through the heel. Inhale here. And exhale, curve it in. Inhale, long. Exhale, curving it in, pulling belly button to spine. Inhale, length. And exhale, curve it in, press the floor away. Inhale once more, extend long. And exhale, release it down. Let's go through some cat-cow again. Inhale, heart lifts forward and up. Exhale, press the floor away. Once more. Offering the heart forward. And scooping the belly in on the exhale. Let's release the wrists. Take the right hand, flip the palm up towards the ceiling, fingers back towards the knees. Little shift of the hips back, side to side. Flip it back around, pressing the fingertips, switching sides. Hips press back, side to side. Release that. Let's tuck the toes. Lift the knees an inch off the ground, press the floor away, pull the belly button to the spine. As you press the hips back, you're in this leapfrog, let the head hang, looking back towards the toes. And then begin to lift the hips. We're coming into down dog. This is going to be a shortened downward facing dog. So we just let the heels sink towards the earth. The same sensation of the elbows scooping towards one another. Press through the fingertips. Pull the belly button in towards the spine, pressing the hips up and back. Front ribs move towards the back body. Inhale high onto the toes. Exhale, press the heels down. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet. We're coming to a forward fold at the back of the mat. Knees can be gently bent here. Let the head hang. Come back to the breath. Always coming back to the breath. Smooth inhales. Gentle, relaxing exhales. Notice when the mind wanders. And it's not a punishment, it's a gentle guiding it back to the breath. The mind wandering is a very human experience. It's what our minds do. And we want to be loving, forgiving, compassionate, and guide the attention back to the present moment using the breath as a tool. Let's have a deep bend in the knees. Let the tush sink towards the earth. We'll let the head hang, press into the feet, and we're going to slowly drip the body up. Stacking one vertebrae at a time. The head is going to be the last thing to arrive. Deep breath in. Sigh it out the mouth. Deep breath in. Heavy sigh out. Okay. Staying at the back of your mat. I'm going to turn my body, but you can stay standing where you are. I just want you to be able to see the way we set up Tadasana. So Tadasana is our blueprint pose for all of our standing poses. The edges of our feet, the outer edges of our feet, we want them to be parallel with one another. It's going to feel like the heels are splaying out slightly, but we want those edges to be nice and parallel. It begins to encourage internal rotation in the thighs. That is all to say. Edges of the feet parallel, soft bend in the knees. Begin to straighten the knees slightly, not pressing the knees back so it's not hyperextension. You can begin to feel the outer hips engage as the inner thighs spiral in and back towards the back body, okay? So outer hips hugging, frontal hip points, these front hip points right here, those begin to pull up. And as they pull up, it directs the tailbone down, okay? So it feels like there's a slight tilt, but what we're doing for most of us is we're taking the tilt out. This is the way that my body likes to stand, just in everyday life, and I need to correct that by pulling my frontal hip points up and directing my tailbone down. Engaging the low belly, front ribs pull to the back body, back ribs lift up, and the collarbone spreads wide. Palms face forward. Gaze is soft in front of you, couple of feet. And we breathe here. Feel length all the way through the top of the head. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Utthita Hasta Tadasana. And exhale, soft knees, strong legs as we fold forward. Inhale, coming into a flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, heart lifts. And on the exhale, we're going to walk the hands back out to downward facing dog. Hips press up and back. Inhale, hand to the toes. Exhale, press the heels down. Lift the right leg up and back if you have space. On the exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Pressing the floor away. Inhale, up and back. This is similar to what we were doing earlier. Exhale, pulling in, but the back leg is lifted now. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, bring it in. Look forward, stepping the foot through to the hands. If the foot lands here, totally fine. Give it a grab with the right hand. Pull it forward. Or lower your back knee down, step your front foot forward. Either way, however we get there, we are going to all lower the back knee down, walk the right foot towards the right, some, press into the heel of the right foot, engage the low belly, and inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reaching up through the fingertips. Exhale, grab the left wrist and bend over towards the right side. Side bend here. Stretch out the left side of the body. Keep pressing firmly into the heel of the right foot. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, we'll frame the foot with our hands and begin to straighten the front leg, getting into the hamstrings on the right leg. Foot can either stay down or you can pull the toes up towards the face. Take a look back at your left hip. If it's hanging close over to the left side of the mat, hug it over the left knee. Lifting the heart forward. Trying to get the hips on an even plane. Breathing here. Bend the knee. Straight, tuck the back toes and straighten the back leg. Press into the hands, step the front foot back and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back, three-leg dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Looking forward, pull the belly button in, maybe come up on left fingertips, trying to step the left foot through. Otherwise, hand grabs heel, stepping the foot through. Everyone lowers the back knee down, walk the left foot out to the left some, press into the left heel, sweep the arms up and overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, grabbing the right wrist, over bending towards the left side. Deep breath all through the right side body. Feeling it in the hip flexor, feeling it in the outer hip, all through the ribs. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat and we straighten into the left leg. Hug the right hip towards the midline, offering the heart forward. Breathing in and out through the nose, continuously coming back to the breath. Present moment awareness. Rebend the front knee. Tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg. Plant into the hands, stepping the left foot back. Breathing here. Inhale, float forward to plank. Press through the heels, engage the core. We're going to come down onto our forearms. So for forearm plank, you can either interlace your fingers or have your arms parallel like railroad tracks. Press through the heels, engage the core, inner thighs rolling up towards the ceiling. Plank is the same body adjustments as Tadasana, only we're facing the earth. Pressing through the heels, inner thighs roll up, tailbone towards the heels, frontal hip points towards the sternum, belly button to spine, front ribs to back body, collarbone wide, crown of the head forward. "15 more seconds here, building strength. And lower the hips to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows line up underneath shoulders. Pelvis presses towards the earth. Low belly's pulling in and up, protecting the low back. Getting a back bend here. And begin to let the head just hang. Notice how that affects the back. You can bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, switch sides, bring the left ear. Noticing how everything is connected, even those simple movements of ear towards shoulder can really send an electrical message down the back, even to the toes. Let's lower all the way down to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Pelvis presses to the earth, belly button pulls to the spine. Inhale, bring the heart forward and up, low cobra, elbows hug in. Exhale, fold in. Tuck the toes, plant into the hands, engage the core as you press yourself up and back, down dog. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, slowly walk the feet to the hands. Knees can be bent. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through center. Anjaneyasana. Step wide. Feet are parallel. About a leg's distance in between your two legs. If you chop this leg off and laid it down in between my two legs, it would be about that wide. You can also reach your hands out, take your feet about underneath your hands. Direct the tailbone down, pull the belly button in and up. Soft bend in the knees, and we're going to begin to hinge from the hips. More weight comes into the toes. And from here we hang. You can grab a hold of the calves, the ankles, the feet, maybe big toe lock. And we're stretching out those hamstrings. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Reminder of all of our choices that we get to make. Release whatever you're holding on to.
Take your hands onto your hips, engage the core. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, press all the way up to standing. Right leg. No. Right leg. I'll mirror you. Bend the knee, open the hip out to the front of the mat. Or back of the mat. Wherever you're at. Legs are both straight. Back toes come in slightly. Hands on hips. We want them to stay equidistant from the earth, okay? So if you notice you're hanging forward in this front hip, take the back hip, shift it so that they're even from the earth, okay? Hands stay on hips, and we're going to begin to bend that front knee. We're working towards a 90-degree angle. You may need to widen your stance. I certainly do. We're moving towards a 90-degree angle. It does not have to be a 90-degree angle. It's just towards that direction, okay? So this equidistance from the earth so that we're not collapsed over onto that front thigh, okay? So belly button pulls in, tailbone directs down. Back leg is nice and strong. Root down into that back foot. Front heel is pressing towards the earth. Inner thigh on the front leg is rolling toward that outer thigh. That helps to hug the outer hip in and under. And then we'll extend the arms long. We're coming into warrior two. Belly button pulls to spine. We grow up through the sternum, all the way through the crown of the head. Reach out through the fingertips. Really feel yourself reaching. That turns on all of the little muscles inside the arms. You can feel the fascia even if you're really reaching through the fingertips. We're breathing here. Flip the front palm, and we're going to keep the legs out as they are, but reverse the warrior. This is a side stretch. Reaching through the top hand's fingertips. Reach, 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 reach. Strong in that back leg. Then begin to straighten the front leg, pressing into the ball of the foot. Reverse triangle. Inhale up. Exhale, release the hands down. Hands onto hips. Switch sides. That back foot comes in. Back heel goes out slightly. So it's on a slight angle. And then the left leg, toes, turn out. Inner thigh rolling. Hands on hips, legs are straight. Begin to bend into the knee of the left leg. Press into the heel of the foot. Strong back leg. Notice if you're collapsed here and adjust. Tailbone down, belly button in, inner thigh rolling towards the outer thigh on the left side. Heavy in that heel, strong in the back leg, arms reach. Reach, 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 reach through the fingertips. Belly button engaged, pulling in, deep core muscles here, supporting the pose, reaching up through the crown of the head. Breathing here. Noticing again, reaching out through the fingers. How does that affect how I feel in my shoulder? It's this interconnectivity, something that we are learning in a very big way right now, how everything is connected. And how can we show up differently now that we have a much clearer picture on how connected everything is. Flip the front palm and reverse the warrior. Long side body here, side stretch, left side, reaching up through the left fingertips. And then straightening into that front leg. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, come up. Hands to hips. Parallel the feet. Bend the knees. Cheerleader. Come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, step back through plank. And let's lower the knees. Sit back on the heels. We're gonna come down and round out the practice. Lower down onto your backs. You can hug the knees in, little wiggle side to side. And we're just going to release the feet onto the earth, knees up towards the sky. Press the hands onto the earth, and as you press into the heels, the hips lift. We want the inner thighs again rolling towards the back body. Roll one shoulder under and then the other. Press the heart up. Notice if your glutes are like really squeezing here and trying to take over the pose. That's not great for the low back. So press more into the feet, and maybe you can relax the butt muscles. Breathing here. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. We'll do that once more. Press into the feet, lift the hips, roll the left shoulder under, roll the right shoulder under, heart lifts, feet press, inner thighs roll. Coming back to the breath, are you breathing? Is it smooth? Can you smooth it out? And lower the hips down. Hug the knees in. Let the knees fall over to the right and move the hips towards the left. We're coming into a spinal twist. The gaze can be over towards the left or up towards the ceiling. I prefer up towards the ceiling. We're trying to stack the hips. Just go to the degree that feels right in your body. Soften the shoulders. Breathe deeply into the belly. Sighing it out. Deep breath in, fill the belly up. Heavy sigh out. You can stick your tongue out on that one. Come back through center. Let's switch sides. Scoot the hips over to the right. Let the knees fall over towards the left. Hello, body. Right arm reaching out. Maybe the gaze goes to the right, or perhaps just staying up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in through the nose. Stick your tongue out as you sigh. But only if you're 6 feet away from another person, okay? Deep breath in. And back through center. Hug the knees in, give yourself a little squeeze, curl up into a ball, and release the head down, release the arms, release the legs. Coming into Shavasana, don't skip it, use it, take this moment, pause. We're doing a lot of pausing right now. Eyes gently closed, there's nothing to see here. Breathing. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Release it out the mouth. Releasing any breath control that you've been working with through this practice, and simply allow the body to be. As we go into this Shavasana, notice the mind. Maybe it wants to jump around. I think we're all probably pretty confronted with this pause that is happening in the world on a mass scale. And can we utilize this practice as a way to see how the body reacts in a non-judgmental, in a compassionate way, to simply notice. Notice when it feels like it's too much, and simply breathe. Come back to the breath, notice the breath. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And if the mind wanders, gently coax it back. With loving kindness, I am breathing in, I am breathing out.
welcome to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you like. And at your own pace, making your way out of it, however you feel is the most authentic to your body right now. Enjoy the rest of your practice. Namaste.